Good evening. I am calling to order the May 26, 2026 Fountain City Council meeting. Please stand as Councilmember Rick leads us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Mayor Thompson,
Here?
Mayor Pro Tem Estes,
Here.
Councilmember Veerhoff,
Here.
Councilmember Geek,
Here.
Councilmember Rick,
Here.
Councilmember Hersberg,
Here.
Councilmember Reffenach.
Here.
I have 7 members present.
All right. That takes us to public to be heard. I'm going to take a break here from public to be heard, though, because we have a really important public to be heard. We have Congressman Jeff Crank just walked in, and that's absolutely perfect timing. So come on down to the front. And thank you for coming and visiting us tonight. We're really honored and excited to have you here. If you just push the button in the middle, and we will not limit you to 5 minutes. So.
Oh, well.
Okay.
Well, thank you, Madam Mayor. I appreciate it. And members of council, good to see you all. It's been a fun day in the district today. Nice to get a little water and some rain, huh? Isn't that nice to see that happening? I don't want to talk too much, but I do thank you for the opportunity to come. And did want to talk very quickly, and would love to hear from you about any of the priorities that you all have. I know on the, I just wanted to give you a quick update on PFAS. I know there's been some concern that there might be some changes to PFAS at the federal level because the EPA just did a lot of discussion about PFAS and what they want to do. And you probably know much of this, but EPA just announced a $1 billion grant to address PFAS. The state of Colorado was awarded $44.3 million of that, and that's actually one of the highest awards to any state, was that $44.3 million. The good news under the EPA proposed rule that they did, it upholds the current maximum contaminant level for PFAS. So there's no change to that. There was a concern, I think, that there would be a change, and the EPA decided no change. It creates an option for eligible drinking water systems to request 2 additional years to comply with the limits. And it rolls back some regulations on other PFAS chemicals because the EPA felt that under the Biden administration, they didn't provide a robust comment period on some of that and did it arbitrarily. And that they felt that a federal judge might overturn that if they move forward with it. So they're going to roll back some of those regulations, and we'll have a comment period on those as well. And then, of course, they're focused on preventing PFAS from getting into the water systems by trying to focus on the removal of PFAS. And then the last thing I'd say, I just recently co-sponsored the Water Systems PFAS Liability Protection Act. Which is it's a bipartisan piece of legislation that I just co-sponsored. And it, of course, protects water systems and ratepayers in those water systems, because currently water systems can be found liable for PFAS cleanup, even though they didn't put it in the water, and that they're taking steps to remove it. So this, of course, when that happens, it drags utilities and then, of course, ratepayers through the court process. So we don't want that to happen, and so I'm a co-sponsor of that bill, and we're working to try and get that passed. So I would just mention that. Would love to hear, obviously any thoughts about Fort Carson and some of the continued great relationships we have there. I will just mention. The Secretary of the Air Force will be here on Thursday for the Air Force Academy graduation, and so I'll see the Vice President who's coming to speak, and then the Secretary of the Air Force. I am touring Schriever Space Force Base on Friday with the Secretary of the Air Force, and we're going to do a classified tour of some of the things that are out there, but then there'll be some discussion about some new missions that are coming there. I'm pretty excited about those. I will say, I've said this from the beginning on the Space Command issue. I think our community got, it was a blow to our community when we heard that Space Command might move. But I said at the time that that at the end of the day, there'll be more space jobs in El Paso County 5 years down the road than there are today. And I firmly believe that, and I think we're going to see some of that come to fruition on Friday, where some of that will be announced. There's already been the announcement of 2,500 jobs that will be part of a new Space Operations Center. It's a $250 million project that we were able to get in the federal budget to be built at Schriever. And I know the Secretary of the Air Force is eager to come and talk about that mission a little bit as well on Friday. So some good news, I think, for the county there. But would love to hear if you all have anything for me, any questions, thoughts, comments. Hopefully the relationship with Fort Carson continues to be a great one for the city of Fountain, and certainly does, I know, for the county and for the city of Colorado Springs. So love to hear any comments you might have, Madam Mayor.
All right. Well, if you head over to Fort Carson, we have a wonderful bus system starting with them called the Carson Connection. Scott, I'm sure we can get them a ride. Even if you don't have the app on your phone, we'll make
Do I
an
need a
exception.
card? Do I need a bus card or
No,
anything?
you need an app on your phone.
Oh, I
and
need
you have
an
to use
app.
the app because you call for the ride, but I think we can make an arrangement. So,
Okay,
yeah,
we'll do that.
What's that? A ribbon cutting is June 1st at 1 p.m. on Fort Carson. I can email Dennis the details, so.
Yeah, I
anyways.
would love to do that if I'm available. I think I'm here on June 1st, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know, it'll be here before you know it, right?
It will.
Any questions from any council members? Councilmember Verhoff.
Well, thank you, Congressman Crank, for coming down.
Yes, Councilman.
I would also like to mention one of the pieces of legislation that you sponsored just a little bit ago about the veteran. I'm probably going to get the word of it wrong. The Second Amendment veterans bill that you sponsored for our disabled veterans. If you could speak on that a little bit.
Yeah, so I actually co-sponsored that. There's actually two. One is for active duty service members who carry, who want to conceal carry on post. I think you're actually referring to the veterans one.
Yes,
If I could, I'll talk briefly about both.
Oh, please.
One, some of our active duty soldiers were being denied concealed carry permits or being delayed by the base commander or post commander, in the case of the Army, around the country. And I just think it's wrong that we have men and women who serve our country carry firearms all day long. And if, they have a clean bill of health, there's not a mental issue or anything like that, why would they not be able to carry that? So I am carrying some legislation which we will likely get into the defense authorization bill, which would allow our service members to be able to carry. They still need to get approval from the post commander. If the post commander were to deny them, they would have to write out the reason that they're being denied. There's a presumption of allowing them to carry unless they choose not to, and then they have to spell out why that is. So kind of protect the Second Amendment rights of active duty soldiers. But the thing that you're specifically asking about is the VA for 30 years took the position that if you were a veteran and you asked for a fiduciary to help you because you needed help balancing your checkbook or something, they would literally, the VA system for 30 years would take that person's name and give it to the Department of Justice and turn them in as ineligible and put them on ineligible to buy a firearm. I mean, it's crazy that they were doing that because they asked for help, a fiduciary, to help them, balance a checkbook or help them financially. That's not something that, we should do. And so I co-sponsored a piece of legislation which we passed out of the House last week that would remove that prohibition. It would prohibit them from turning that over to the Department of Justice, and it would help veterans have access to their Second Amendment rights.
Well, thank you for doing everything you're doing for the veterans, and I would also like to thank you and your office for having the office hours down here to support our veterans to get help with their VA claims or whatever issues they need.
You bet. Thank you, Councilman. And, we do value that. I would say to anybody who's here or to any of you, we do all we can to help veterans, constituents, whether it's with the IRS or with Social Security or any of those. And so if anybody has that, I would encourage you to call if they have an issue with any of the federal agency, to call our office at 520-0055, our Colorado Springs office. And we help people every single day. It's one of the most fun parts of this job, is that we get to help average everyday people.
Well, thank you, Congressman. Thank you.
You bet. Thank you.
All right, and any other council members? Any staff have any questions? I can see Scott's wheels turning. The money.
Not a question, but I just want to kind of circle back to what the mayor said, and you had mentioned it earlier about the military support. Anytime we can be assured of federal support for these intergovernmental support agreements, this tool that we have to work with our military installations, whether it's Army, Air Force, whatever, to help them with their resilience and to help provide the services they need and to do it quicker, faster, better. Man, we just appreciate that. So just the fact that your office supports that and has that knowledge of what that is hugely valuable to us. Because that question will come up from time to time. And just seeing that kind of support allows us to provide some of the services that we do for Fort Carson. And hopefully the Air Force at some point.
Yeah. Well, and the Space Force. We can't forget our Space Force either. I appreciate those comments. I would just say, all of El Paso County and the city of Colorado Springs, but certainly the city of Fountain when it comes to Fort Carson, we have had a decades-long reputation for the whole time that Fort Carson has been here, and even beyond that for some of our military installations, of being a military community, a community that supports our men and women and their families in the military. And, I'm very proud of that, and I'm very proud of our 5 military installations here. So anything we can ever do to help on those, if you're looking for help and support, if we can help with a letter of support for any of these agreements, we are happy to do that, because we want them to know that we are open for business with all of our military installations, and that we want our missions to grow and people to keep coming here and have our veterans who are stationed here to stay here and live and work here. So thank you.
Well, and the same back to you too. If there's any way we can help you with a letter, or, I'd be more than happy to fly to DC and testify for you at your
Okay.
expense, of course.
Okay.
They don't call me frugal for any reason.
That's good.
Anyways, but love to help you out however we can.
Thank you.
I know Dennis is a great connection for you living here in town, so thank you. I would like to present you with a coin from the city of Fountain, so let me come
Thank
down
you.
there.
Yes.
And if we could anybody wants to come down, we'll take a photo. So if that's okay with you?
That'd be great.
Okay,
Yeah, I'd
thank
love
you.
that. I'd love that. Thank you. Good, thank you. How are you? Good to see you. How you doing? Nice to see you again. Yes, sir. Good to see you. Okay, where would you like me?
And our city clerk said she worked for you.
Oh, my goodness. Jody. I've known Jody, I don't even want to tell you how long. Hi, Jody. How are you? So nice to see you again. We worked at the chamber together.
That's what she said, yeah. She said, all right, here's the city coin.
Well, thank you so
And
much.
the thing that's really cool is not only is it really pretty on the front, but on the back, you have our military connection and agricultural, and this is the dream from Colorado Springs that got blows off the map about 100 years ago. It was just in the Gazette article. The article was in the Gazette, I think, Sunday or something like that.
I will take this out and put it in my Washington office.
There you go. Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
that's awesome. Thank you very much. Oh, thanks for having me. My pleasure. You bet.
All right, that was a very nice surprise. I emailed them about 10 o'clock this morning and said, would you like to come this summer on your break? And they said, how about tonight? I said, okay. So that worked out very, very nice. So thank you.
Can I say hello to them?
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah. I'm not going to tell a congressman and he can't shake hands, right?
I'll slip out and not be interrupted.
That's right. Nobody will notice at all, right? Good thing we got a small crowd tonight, right? Yeah. All right. That takes us on to item 4, public to be heard. Citizens may address the council on items that are not on the agenda. Council may not be able to provide an immediate answer, but will direct staff to follow up. Out of respect for the council and others in attendance, please limit your comments to 5 minutes or less. And I do have one card tonight from Bobby Vigil, VFW. Thank you for coming tonight.
Thank you, Madam Mayor and City Council. Number one, I just want to say thank you to everybody that came out to the joint Memorial Day event. I think it was a very nice event, and thank you for all the words, Mayor. And basically just kind of give a rundown of some of the things that we've got in the next couple of weeks. Let me see, May 29th, Wackadoo Brewing is coming down to our post and sponsoring a dinner, beer battered barbecue chicken. Sounds interesting to me. That's going to be starting at 5 o'clock on Friday, the 29th. Then we've got the following Friday, June 5th, the auxiliary will host a meatloaf dinner. That starts at 5:30. On June 13th, we have our summer bash at the VFW. So it's family-friendly events for kids and adults. And then June 15th, we have a blood drive that starts at 11 o'clock. It's a district-wide VFW district blood drive, starting at 11 o'clock. If anybody can stop by, we'd appreciate it. Other than that, just a huge thank you for yesterday, and I think it was a success. I hope the community and you guys also feel that way. So that is it.
It was a great event, and it's always a good day when we can have it outside, right? And
Yes.
the weather actually cooperates. And
It
that
did. It was pretty hot for
Yeah,
some, though.
yeah.
Next year, I promise we'll have the PA system. I didn't realize they didn't have it up there until after we were already seated.
Right.
And I didn't think it was appropriate for me to jump up, and I couldn't get anybody's attention to go do that for me, so
Right.
my apologies.
I think it worked out fine, so.
So,
All right, I can
all right.
speak pretty loud. I think I did okay.
Yes, you did, your voice could carry, and our senior vice who facilitated the event yesterday, his voice could carry. If everybody had that much lung power, that would have been, but other than
Yeah.
that, thank you.
And your new commander again is,
Our new commander, and he'll take effect July, is Dennis Klein.
okay,
Our current acting commander is Sean McNally.
right.
Yesterday, our senior vice basically hosted the event. His voice carries,
Yeah.
So he will be our senior vice again, so
Right.
we'll be seeing a lot of him. So,
Okay, well,
all right.
thanks for the invite.
Yes, ma'am.
And for
Thank
the
you,
food.
guys.
Thank you. All right, that's all the cards I have for public to be heard tonight. That takes us on to presentations. And, oh, by the way, Women of the West, they do a really great steak dinner once a month. If you want a good steak dinner, that's the place to go. All right, and it's like $15. Steak, baked potato, all sorts of stuff, so. All righty. Presentations, Western Heritage Presentation, Girls of the West. All righty. Oh, and the first one, oh, boy, I wasn't going to say nothing, yeah.
They won't be after me to explain everything I might add wrong. I am John Copenafer, Vice President of Pikes Peak.
If you could push that middle button,
John
Thank you.
Copenafer, the Vice President of the Pikes Peak Range Riders. Let me give you just a brief history. We started in 1949 with Ken Brookart and Everett Conover. They got a bunch of businessmen together, went around through the mountains, and invited everybody to the rodeo. If you look downtown on the statue, the two fellows are on their horses. We've been around for 78 years, about 200 strong, and one of our big things we support is military charities through the rodeo and through the street breakfast. And then we have the Latigo Equestrian Center out in Falcon. It provides rodeo space for young people and old people alike. We support the Pikes Peak Rangerettes drill team. You've seen them at the rodeo and various parades throughout Colorado. We have the Pikes Peak Special Rodeo is this weekend at the Hall of Fame downtown, where we special horses for special kids, and it's pretty good little deal. Then we support the Range Rider Pivots, our drill team that goes to different rodeos and parades around Colorado. And don't forget the annual street breakfast downtown Colorado, June 17th. So you can have pancakes about 5:30 in the morning, and at 8 o'clock watch 150 of us Range Riders ride out on our horses and ride out of town. And also don't forget about the Pikes Peak Bus Rodeo, July 14th through the 18th at Penrose Arena. And that's all I have. Thank you.
But I'm sure you guys aren't done, because that's way too short.
Hi, I'm Laurie Carroll, President of the Pikes Peak Bus Rodeo Board of Directors. Thank you for the opportunity to be here with you today. Our Girl of the West has a great speech coming up, so I'm going to keep mine short so you can listen to her. She's very impressive. I want to tell you a little bit about our history. Spencer Penrose founded the rodeo in 1937 as a way to bring tourism into Colorado Springs and our local area. We're the second oldest event in Colorado Springs, right behind the Pikes Peak International Hill Climb. This is our 85th birthday. The rodeo's been held every year since 1937. If you're great at math, there's a couple of years missing there. That's because during World War II and COVID, the rodeo was not held. In 1946, rodeo leadership decided at that point, as the soldiers were coming back from World War II, from that point forward, they would dedicate all the proceeds of the rodeo to local military and their families. And we're proud to uphold that tradition today. Our community event is supported by local fans and sponsored by many area businesses and organizations, as well as regional and national sponsors. We're thankful for all that support to our event as we honor not only Western heritage, but our local military and their families. Our rodeo has grown in national visibility, and it attracts attendees from all 50 states and some countries outside of the United States. We're proud to showcase the Pikes Peak community and everything that it has to offer to our fans and our contestants. The Pikes Peak Bus Rodeo is led by an all-volunteer board and hundreds of volunteers that help put on the rodeo every year. Many of them, like me, are veterans, so the mission to give back to the local military is very dear to us. We're passionate about giving back and recognizing the military for their sacrifices to our country. We look forward to seeing you at the rodeo, and thank you for the opportunity to speak to you.
Thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Corliss Palmer. I'm the director of the Girls of the West, and I have been for 25 years. It's a very passionate mission I have because of giving back to the military. So I've been involved with the Girl of the West, and we've been involved. We've had the Girl of the West since 1922. So even before the rodeo, there were other rodeos in town, and that's when it was formed. So anyway, it's a blessing for me to be able to provide time and effort and schedule and escorting the Girl of the West. The Girl of the West this year is Kaylee Grippentrog. She's a daughter of Todd and Laura. She's been a member of the Pikes Peak Rangerettes for 3 years, and last year she was the captain leading the group. And before that, she was an assistant secretary. She's competed in horse shows for the past 2 years, competing in Western and English disciplines. She just graduated from the Village High School and plans to attend Pikes Peak State College this first year to get her basic education classes and then transfer to CSU to study animal science. And she has several people serving that have served in the military. Her brother is just joined the Army and will graduate from basic on Friday. So they're leaving for that. And here's Kaylee. Enjoy her speech.
Thank you. Welcome, Kaylee.
Hi, my name is Kaylee. I am the Girl of the West, and I serve as the proud ambassador for the Pikes Peak Bus Rodeo. Guess what? We're getting ready to rodeo. That's right, the NFR Open at the Pikes Peak Bus Rodeo, presented by John Deere, takes place right in Colorado Springs, July 14th through 18th, when the top professional rodeo cowboys and cowgirls from the U.S., Canada, and Mexico compete to be named PRCA Circuit Champions. There's bragging rights in play and mega prize money to win. Watching pro rodeo live and in person is like no other pro sport experience. And watching it with America's mountain as the backdrop is as good as it gets. It is where pride of country is felt by everyone at every performance. You'll get to see the top contestants in all of North America bringing their A-game to the scenic and historic Norris Penrose Event Center to compete in bareback riding, breakaway roping, steer wrestling, saddle bronc riding, team roping, tie-down roping, barrel racing, and bull riding. Saturday night, July 18th, is when the National Circuit Champions will be crowned. There are 7 performances, July 14th through 18th, with evening performances Tuesday through Saturday, starting at 7:30 p.m., grounds open at 4 p.m., and matinee performances Friday and Saturday, starting at 12:30 p.m., grounds open at 10 a.m. There's a lot to love about this rodeo, and I'd like to tell you why it is so special to me. This legacy event reminds us to celebrate and preserve our Western heritage and values, all while hosting the best in the sport of professional rodeo. I am proud to say I was raised with these Western values, and it is important to me that we honor our military at every performance. U.S. Army, SMDC, and MDA on Tuesday night, Fort Carson, 4th Infantry Division on Wednesday evening, First Responders and 302nd Airlift Wing on Thursday evening, Military Family Day and 10th Special Forces Group at the Friday matinee, Space Night on Friday evening, the United States Air Force Academy at the Saturday matinee, and NORAD, U.S. Northcom on Saturday evening. The Pikes Peak Bus Rodeo has been giving back to our local military and their families since 1946. I am passionate about that mission. I have 2 insider tips for you. First, how about free parking? Skip the traffic with free garage parking and free shuttles to the rodeo and back to your car for every performance. Kick back and enjoy the ride. Details are on our website, pikespeakerbus.org. The second tip, get the best price on tickets at the trusted source. Our website, pikespeakerbus.org. Avoid the scammers and resellers. You'll want to arrive early to grab a bite and check out the apparel and other Western fare our vendors have for sale. There's tons of fun in the fan zone with kid-friendly activities, rides, mutton-busting prelims, and plenty more vendors. Plus, the feedlot tent and beer and wine corral. Be sure to stick around after the rodeo for autographs from the contestants, the Rangerettes, visiting royalty, and me, your Girl of the West. Then, live music and dancing await in the Coors Roadhouse Saloon. Be ready to wave when you see our awesome pink Ram truck from Perkins Motors all over town. We will be heading out to represent our rodeo at military installations, community events, and stopping by to see some of the generous sponsors who help make this event possible. Hope to see you bright and early downtown Colorado Springs on June 17th for the annual Colorado Springs Western Street Breakfast and the official send-off for the Pikes Peak Range Riders annual ride. Then we'll be ready to welcome you to the NFR Open at the Pikes Peak Bus Rodeo. Tickets are selling fast. Get yours today at pikespeakerbus.org. See you there.
Thank you. Very good. And I assume you brought posters and things at the back for people to put up in their business or here around? Okay.
Thank you for that. We also have some brochures in the back.
Okay, great.
Pass those around town.
Okay, great. Yep, what doesn't disappear tonight, we can get it over to the chamber, right? Okay, sounds good. Thank you so much for coming tonight. Really appreciate it. Anybody have any questions for them about anything? No, Tamara, you cannot ride a horse. No, not there, not there, not those. Thank you very much. All right. All righty. That takes us on to the next item, a proclamation declaring that henceforth the last Monday of May will be recognized as Memorial Day. And as was mentioned earlier, a couple of us went to the nice event they had over at the VFW yesterday, and I think it was made a little bit more impactful to our community as we recognized Staff Sergeant Pennington for his loss out of Fort Carson. And so he was recognized tomorrow also. So if we could get you guys to take that out in the lobby, please. Thank you. If we, Councilmember Geek, and you were going to read the proclamation. Thank you.
A proclamation declaring that henceforth the last Monday of May be recognized as Memorial Day. Whereas Memorial Day is a time to honor and remember the men and women of the United States Armed Forces who have died in defense of our country. And whereas it is our solemn obligation to show our respect and gratitude for their courage and sacrifice, dedicating this day to remembering their ultimate contribution. And whereas we recognize that the freedom we enjoy is a precious gift, purchased at a high price by those who came before us. And whereas Fountain citizens remember those who have made the ultimate sacrifice for this country and comfort the families and friends of those who lost a loved one, as we are forever indebted to those who have died in defense of our republic. Now therefore be it resolved that the mayor and city council of the city of Fountain, Colorado, do hereby proclaim the last Monday in May as Memorial Day in the city of Fountain, and encourage all citizens to remember and honor all the brave men and women who have made the ultimate sacrifice for our freedom, and to show our gratitude for their service. Done this 28th day of May, 2026.
Thank you. All right. That takes us on to item 5.2, Board, Commission, and Committees. I guess we did the bulk of it last week because there are none, tonight. And item 6, Correspondence, Comments, and Ex Officio Reports. Mr. Trainer.
Madam Mayor, I don't have anything for tonight.
Couple quick updates. The rain last week affected some projects. So Southmore will be delayed a week or so. Link was impacted. So once they get those going, then they'll flow out to the other resurfacing projects, but it's that time of year.
We'll take the rain. Mr. Strider, Chief?
No, ma'am.
All right. The enforcement continues on the motorcycles
Every weekend
every weekend.
until we don't need it anymore.
That would be really nice, yes. City Clerk's Office?
Nothing, thank you.
Okay, IT?
Nothing tonight, Madam Mayor. Thank you.
All right, thank you. I'll start with Councilmember Hersberg.
Thank you, Mayor. Just attended a couple of monthly meetings, our Fountain Urban Renewal Authority, as well as an alternate on Watershed.
Okay, thank you. Councilmember Estes.
I was also at the Fountain Creek Watershed District meeting. A lot of continuing work there on their proposed in lieu fee program. So that's what we've spent a lot of times on. Also had the Senior Center board meeting. A lot of things happening at the Senior Center. Please get out there and support them. They're always looking for donations because they provide a lot of services to this area, and especially with transportation for seniors. So get out there and check them out. Consider if you're eligible to become a member. That's all I have.
Even if you're not eligible, they have like a junior membership program, so you can help support them. Councilmember Geek.
Nothing tonight, Madam Mayor.
Councilmember Rufinock.
I attended the Pikes Peak Regional Building Department Advisory Board. It was packed with information. I'm only going to share 2 pieces of information. Both were legislative in nature with the closing of the session. One was a win of a bill that failed, but a win nonetheless. Defeated was House Bill 1415, which was a residential contractor certification. This, however, gave you no right to pull permits or it was a fee and a name, but just confusing to homeowners and did not give you any rights, permissions, or information. So that was defeated. They felt it was very confusing for homeowners because it wasn't a license. So that was considered a victory. And a loss was something that did pass, and that was House Bill 1007, to improve customer use distributed energy resources. They basically call this plug-and-play solar. And the reason that there's so much concern around this is that anyone, if this is signed, would have the right to put up temporary or unattached solar and a battery without letting anyone know about it. So that home, if there is an emergency and first responders respond, could be turned off at the level of the grid, is not registered as solar, but that house is hot. And so a first responder comes in, and that could be a very dangerous situation. So with none of the amendments that public safety was asking for or anything, while it did pass, and it sounds like a great idea for consumers, could be a very dangerous situation. So that was considered a loss, even though it passed, and they're really kind of hoping it doesn't get signed.
We discussed that bill at our lobbying group, and we belong to another, the Utilities Department has its own lobbying branch. I'm going blank on the name of it but I know they were very concerned, and I believe they were lobbying against that, so, yeah. I mean, yeah, like you said, it sounds really good for ways somebody
It
gets temporary
certainly does.
solar, but the fact that they can attach it to their house and not have to register has some concerns to various utilities departments.
Absolutely.
Okay, Councilmember Verhoff.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Just a couple of things. So got to attend the Pikes Peak Area Council of Governments meeting in person, and we got to hear from CDOT with the interesting update that they're almost done with all of their at least planned projects for the first time in what'd they say, about 15, 20 years, that there hasn't been an active going project that's complete. So that was a really good. And then we had the Peace Officers Memorial Day at the park. That was really wonderful to be able to see Chief Cristiani and to memorialize the peace officers who have fallen in the line of duty, and we appreciate all the service that they've done. And then on to Memorial Day, getting to go out to the VFW and American Legion's joint effort with that. One thing I have been hammered by quite a few constituents this week on wanting to know when we're going to start seeing the repeal of some of the ordinances that are anti-business, and I'd definitely like staff to follow up on that and see what we can do.
Thank you. Councilmember Rick?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. A couple things I want to talk about that have been in the news lately. As Representative Crank mentioned, the EPA is considering changing some of the regulations around PFOS and PFOA. I understand the thought process that the comment period wasn't robust enough, but I am concerned about allowing more chemicals into our water than are currently allowed. So, Mr. Trainer, if we get some guidance or some rules or regulations from the EPA saying more chemicals can go in our water, I would ask that utilities not do that, bring that to the council so that not only we can hear it, but we can get some public feedback on that before we do that.
That's absolutely what we'll do. Yeah,
Okay.
Absolutely.
Thank you for that. Secondly, there's been a lot in the news about AI data centers. Been a lot of controversy around that. Garden of the Gods, they're talking about putting a facility up there. California's put a 12-month moratorium on AI data centers. The AI data centers use a lot of water. They use a lot of electricity, and they don't provide very many tax breaks to the residents that they build in. I will tell you, I have spoken to our utility director, and the city has been approached by companies that want to build data centers here in Fountain. So far, he has told them, no, we don't have the water, we don't have the electricity. We recently raised our tap fees for large taps that these AI data centers would use. We raised it about 1,200%, and to be honest, I'm fine with that. If an AI data center wants to come here and use our water and use our electricity and not give us very much tax money, I don't want to charge them an arm and a leg. I want to charge them an arm, a leg, a lung, and a kidney. Okay, I want it all. So I am fine with that. Again, that's the sort of thing that would need to come through council, but so far, our utility director has turned them all down, saying, we don't have it. We don't have the water you want. We don't have the electricity you want. And I support him on that. And that's all I have, Madam Mayor.
Okay. Well, I had actually, I don't know, last week or the week before, I tell you, this year is like going by like a weed, growing like a weed, it's just going fast. And I had asked Scott to have the staff consider bringing it to a work session just to discuss AI data centers, make sure everybody understands what they are, what they're doing. But if you don't want AI, give up your phone. I don't know what, because it's there. If you're paying your bill on it, you're using the data center. If you're skimming on your phone and you're watching all those YouTube videos, you're sucking up some of the data. So, education is the best thing we can do for it, right? And get people educated. So that'll be coming. So I don't know when, but it'll be coming. Oh my goodness, I have had a busy couple of weeks. Started it off with the Pikes Peak Peace Officer event. There's always a great event. If you haven't had a chance to attend that since you've been on council, I would see if you can mark the date off, get it from Christiani for next year. They honor all the fallen officers way, way back. And it makes you wonder what was going on in Cripple Creek 150 years ago. My goodness, because they had all the losses back then. It's been a crazy time. But we have 2 officers that are honored, and of course, Officer Becerra that most of us remember. And then headed up to the Wolf Creek Lodge, where I had never been inside it before, for a event put on by Silver Key. Was part of a panel on aging in El Paso County. And El Paso County is one of the best places to retire with the most services. And so when we're struggling with them, you think, wow, what don't other people have? So we're doing really good, and they had a lot of resources for seniors in the area. Stopped by the Kiwanis Club Car Show. Hats off to them for putting on a great car show. Had a lot of cars out there, a lot of excitement. I think it'll be even better next year. Went to Peterson Air Force Base to the State of the Base for the Space Force, which in the next 10 years is, they're hoping to double the contingency they have out there and become a national training area. So instead of people bouncing around from base to base to base for various trainings, everybody would come there for the training. So they're going to need more housing and different things for that. We had Jesse from Senator Hickenlooper's office out, and we took him on a tour in one of our new Carson Connector buses that wasn't in service. Very comfortable to ride in them. And that was a great tour. Took him around and showed him some of the projects we're doing around town, some of the difficulties that we have, and different things that are going on. And it was just a great time to connect with him. Went to the Fort Carson Soldiers Memorial event, and that is where they honor all the soldiers out of Fort Carson that have been lost since 9/11. And then went to the Gold Star van presentation. We have a Gold Star spouse in the city of Fountain, and she lost her husband about 17, 18 years ago. She was awarded a new payment-free van by Nissan South. And that was an exciting, she was absolutely shocked. She thought she was going to be one of the contestants that, and who was going to be picked that day. So she walked in and got handed the keys. So that was very exciting for her. And the thing that's really nice is not only do they work with them in giving them the payment-free van, but they step alongside them for the next 2 years and help work on finances and different things, and just kind of walk alongside them and see what they need. And there's other services available from that organization that they work with Gold Star families that might be, they need some home improvements, they need a new roof and different things that they can apply for. And of course, mention the Memorial Day event over at the VFW. They always do a great job there for Memorial Day, followed up by a lunch for the community. So it's been busy. People definitely, spring is sprung, and lots of things going on. So it's always great to be out there and sitting with people and finding out what's going on. So that takes us to item 7, consent agenda. All items listed on the consent agenda are considered routine and will be approved with one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a council member or citizen so requests, in which case the item may be removed from the consent agenda and considered separately at the discretion of council. We have item A, the approval of the May 12th minutes. What would council like to do with the consent agenda? Councilmember Estes.
Move to approve consent.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Councilmember Hertzberg, thank you. Okay, please vote. Your Honor? Oh, I was like, Your Honor.
Make a correction on the agenda if I may come forward before that is finalized.
Sure, we can.
The minutes, please.
Okay. What is the procedure on that, Mr. Trainer?
Sorry if I'm breaking protocol here.
That's okay. Give us just 2 seconds.
I'm Robert Trout.
Hang on
I was
just a-
elected.
Madam Mayor,
Hang on just a second, please.
it's really entirely up to you to allow some of
Okay.
this out there.
All righty, so give me just a second. He's going to make a correction in the minutes. I'm going to ask the 2 people who made the motions, would you withdraw your motions and we'll just remake them? Okay.
Okay.
All right, great,
Thank you for the consideration.
right.
I'm Robert Trout. I was elected to the Heritage Board Maintenance, the Heritage Maintenance Board last week. Good evening. Thank you, everyone. So I do want to make a correction. My name was misspelled on page 2, item 5.2, paragraph 4. So it's trivial right now, unless
That's
you
okay.
guys name a school after me or something, then it's like,
Oh.
we should have got that right. But
I know, huh?
So it's spelled Troudt. It's not as fishy as it looks in the minutes, okay?
Oh, I see what happened.
It's
Okay.
DT, and
We did the
if I may
phonetic.
request, I go by Bob, so if we
Okay.
can change Robert to Bob, that'd be great, but the last name's probably the most important
Okay.
going
Spell
forward.
that
we
again
get
for
that
me?
right. Bob,
No,
T-R,
no, not the Bob. I got the Bob.
Okay.
Okay.
Troudt, Delta Tom.
TRO.
Okay,
Thank you. All
and
right.
again, sorry for breaking protocol, and I appreciate
It's
the
okay.
consideration.
It's okay. I was
So-
going kind of fast because we
Okay.
never had that happen before. So,
Okay.
it's okay.
We're good, thank you.
All righty. So we will have as amended. So are we good with?
We have 2 school teachers up here, so spelling is important, so thank you.
Well, I was giving them a break saying they spelled it phonetically. So, yes. All righty. So we will back up and we will say, do we have a motion for the approval of the amended minutes? Councilmember Estes.
I move to approve the amended motion because I know how Mr. Trout's name is spelled because I went to school with him.
Councilmember Hertzberg.
I'll second.
All right. Is there any further deliberation? You sure? I want to give you a second chance. Okay, all right. All right, all in favor? Or whatever. That's PPACG where we do it that way. Please vote. All right, you threw me off there for a second. Old business.
7
8.
yes, motion carried.
Thank you. Item 8, old business, there is none. Item 9A, consideration of items removed from the consent agenda, there is none. And Mr. Trout, if we do spell your name wrong again, you can always email the clerk ahead of time. And so you don't have to come all the way down here for it. So, all right. Okay. All righty. Item 10, City Council agenda request. City Council shall use this time to request any items for future consideration. Anybody have any agenda requests? Okay. There are none. I just double check it. It just seems like it's going a little fast here. Wow. I thought maybe she missed something on the agenda. I wanted to make sure. All righty. Announcement of an executive session.
Madam Mayor, there won't be any minutes for this executive session, so that item is being removed off of the agenda, won't be read into the record. In accordance with the city charter and the Colorado Open Meetings Act, the city council open session is to determine whether it will hold a closed executive session. Closed executive session may be held upon an affirmative vote of 2/3 of the quorum present. If consent to the closed executive session is not given, the items may be discussed in open session or withdrawn from the consideration.
Okay, that is the request from our city clerk. What would council like to do? Councilmember Rick?
Move to go into executive session.
Councilmember Rufinock?
I'll second that motion.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to go into executive session. Please vote.
I have 6 yes, 1 no. Councilmember Veerhoff voting no. Motion carried.
Okay, it's 2 for the year. You can't have any more. Okay? Oh, I thought you, I don't know.
I was the one that voted.
Oh, you were the one that did it last time. Okay, as long as y'all are spreading it out. Okay. We just have to a little rebellion in the ranks up here once in a while. Okay, with that, we are adjourned. All right, everybody.